Today we're talking about living in Philadelphia, pros and cons. All right, so let's get right to it without any further ado. Let's start with the cons, the bad news first. So the biggest con in Philadelphia has got to be the crowds. Okay, there's a lot of people living in our fair city, and it is pretty crowded. Center City gets congested. There's a lot of people working and living there, so it can be pretty crowded. If you don't like a lot of people around you, you don't want to live in the city. I'm not saying everywhere in the city is crowded, but it is pretty crowded. It's a pretty big complaint. Leading into number 2 con is when you have a lot of people, the traffic is pretty bad. Okay, so traffic is tough, super congested, especially on Route 76. And hey, look, sorry, Blue Route, Route 76, but you're not my friend, okay? If you don't want to be in traffic, don't drive on 76. If you want to be in traffic, I think you catch my drift. So if you're looking for some alternate routes in and out of the city and around the city, definitely hit me up. Be happy to share those with you. I guess this third con kind of leads into the same thing. Too many people, too much traffic, parking. Parking is a big issue. Now, we did a whole video on parking, which you could check out, but parking is certainly an issue around the cities. Too congested. There's too many people. There's too many cars. So a lot of our streets do have parking on both sides of the street. A lot of our streets are permitted parking, and there's a lot of areas you could get ticketed and towed. So be careful. Sometimes it's worth taking the ticket instead of having to pay for parking. It actually equals about the same amount of money, but you want to be careful that you're not going to get towed. Parking can be a challenge, but there is a lot of free parking in the city. There's a lot of cheap parking in the city. I'll give you a quick parking hint. If you're especially in Center City or in those parts where there's a ton of parking garages and a ton of parking for paid parking, look for some of the hotel parking where you may think you can't park there, but you can. It's actually a lot less expensive, especially if you're, like I said, in Center City. All right, so we talked about 3 cons. Let's talk about 2 more, and actually I'm going to give you a bonus. So another con, something bad, something negative, not nice to say about Philadelphia, is our school system. Now, I do want to point out that the teachers, the staff, the administrators, they've got a lot of great people there, a lot of heart, and they really do care about the students. But overall, our school system isn't the best. Now, a lot of schools teach for the test. So the schools get ranked in Pennsylvania based on this test results. So if you got good test results, you got a good school ranking. Now, they're not talking about the heart or the care or the actual people. Take it with a grain of salt. But our school system is not highly ranked. Some of the elementary schools are really great. Some of them not as good as the others. Some of the middle schools are super, and as you can imagine, some of them not so good. Some of the high schools are stellar, and some of them are unstellar, or opposite of stellar. All right, and rounding out our list of the 5 things that are cons in Philadelphia, you can't talk about something bad having to do with the city of brotherly love unless you talk about crime. Now, we do have a lot of crime in our city, and the crime rate is pretty high. It's just around above or right around the national average. So is it good, bad, or indifferent? Not sure. Now, obviously, there are some parts of our city that are super high crime levels. There are other parts that aren't super high. They're regular places, as you would imagine, the amount of crime that always happens maybe in your neighborhood. So you got to be safe. You got to be smart. A lot of the crimes in the city are not against you or against your person. They're against your stuff. They're breaking into cars, they're stealing, and so forth. So most of the crime is that, but there are a lot of violent crimes in Philadelphia as well. You got to be really careful. There's also a high level of drug use in parts of the city as well. I think you have that where anywhere you go and where there's a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of crime. Definitely a con in our city. If you want to check out a crime map, hit me up. I'll send you an email with that. Philadelphia Police Force, kudos to them, because they do have a lot of work ahead of them every single day, and they'll actually provide you with some crime statistics as well. All right, here's your bonus con, just as if you wanted to know something worse going on in the city. I have to mention the weather. So a lot of people complain about it. If you ask people on the street, what's so wrong about living in Philadelphia? This area has all 4 seasons. So if you don't like it really hot in the summer and you don't like it really cold in the wintertime, don't live here. But I want you to live here. Hint, hint, wink, wink. If you are going to move here, hit us up. Certainly a real estate expert and your ambassador, local ambassador in the Philadelphia area, also in Jersey, inside, outside the city. We got you covered everywhere in PA. We got you covered everywhere in the world. So we do have all 4 seasons. So that could be a positive thing, actually, if you wanted to have and experience all 4 seasons. But it does get super cold. We do get a lot of snow, tend to get a lot lot of snow. Summertime is super humid and super hot, so it's not that dry heat. It's that really exceptional. You breathe in, you feel like you just opened your oven door. But weather is a negative thing or a con. All right, let's talk about the positives. We talked about 5, we did 6 cons. Let's do positives. If you hang around to the end, I'll add in a 7th positive. This way we end on a high note. All right, so pros to living in Philly. Philly pros. So Philadelphia is big town, like a lot of amenities, but a small town charm. So big city, but small town charm. Now, Philadelphia is known as the city of neighborhoods. So it's a conglomerate of different neighborhoods. So you can get anything you want, never could imagine, and things you probably shouldn't have in Philadelphia, but you do have that small town charm. You do have people in the neighborhoods that recognize you. You have neighborhood watches. You have a close-knit group of people living together that look out for each other. So big city, small town, all combined in one. Also, you got to check out our suburbs, but we're talking about Philly right now. So that's definitely a positive thing. All right, so next one, positive pro, is its prime location. Positive pro, Philly prime. Say that P 3 times fast. Perpetually prime. Definitely a prime location. Super location to get into the woods of the Poconos. Super location to go down to the harbor in Maryland. If you want to have tax-free shopping, you're near Delaware. So great location. East Coast International Airport. I mean, how could you be beat? Excellent location. All right, so the next up here, number 3 with a pro, is all the history in Philadelphia. How could you deny it, okay? You got history, you got museums, you got culture, you got arts, you got sciences, you got old and new, you got modernization. What a cool, artsy, cultural, fun city. History abound. I mean, hey, the country was invented here, right? And if you don't believe me, don't ask somebody from Philly because they might not be too lovingly as a brother should. You get what I'm getting at. A lot of history here. The Liberty Bell, oh, we got the old city. We got a lot of great stuff to check out. So history abound definitely makes our list of pros. The last 2 I have is transportation now. Everybody, as soon as I say transportation, I'm hearing, just imagining the comments we're going to get. Look, we do have a very robust public transportation system. Now, look, does it always work 100% of the time? No, but do you? Hey, thanks to our SEPTA service, and hey, shout out to SEPTA and Amtrak, and check out our SEPTA video, but we've got public transportation coming out the wazoo, okay? You got buses, you got trolleys, you got the subway system, you got taxis, you even got Uber. Public transportation, look, it all counts. So it's very easy to get around the entire city using public transportation. That's what I'm going to say. It's very robust. It does run, sometimes not how you would like it. But what do they say? You plan for the day and then God laughs. So anyway, transportation definitely a pro. Now, speaking of transportation, rounding out our list, I do have a couple more for you. If you stick around, we're almost done, but rounding out our list is Philadelphia is super walkable and bikeable, and they have the systems and the infrastructure set up so you can walkable and bikeable. It makes it very easy. You can rent the bikes if you want it. You don't even need your own bike. You can rent a bike here, rent a bike from point A, take it to point B, and drop it off as long as your credit card goes through, or if you have cash in your pocket. Is that carry cash around anymore? But it's super walkable in many neighborhoods, and again, it's set up that way. Super walkable, super bikeable, and a great public transportation system. Definitely are pros. All right, so number 6, our bonus, one of 2 bonuses for pros, is its diversity. I mean, it's literally a cultural melting pot of Philadelphia. Now, maybe you might not like this. You might not think it's a pro, but boy, it is a pro. You can find somewhere to get along anywhere you go in the city, no matter what walk of life you come from. There's always a spot for you in the city of brotherly love, which actually makes me think of our 7th pro, which is our 2nd bonus. Look, another beautifully nice thing to say about Philadelphia is the food, okay? Look, I like to eat. You've seen any of the videos, but we really do have some delicious food. Of course, we got cheesesteaks. Of course, we got pretzels. Of course, we got tasty cakes. These are all made and built and created in our city, but we've got every kind of food from every kind of culture. You name it, we got it. We got Ethiopian, we got Italian, we got Indian, and we've got delicious food. It's not just, oh, we have it It's the best. And I challenge you to pick a different spot that's more delicious than Philadelphia. Go ahead, I dare you. If you are thinking of moving to the Philadelphia area, definitely want to check out our home buying guide and our home selling guide here. Grab yourself a copy. They are free, put together by yours truly, and they are shown down in the notes below. Check out this video here, Living in Philadelphia. What are the neighborhoods? Once again, thank you so much for checking out our channel, Living in Philadelphia, and watching this video. Look to see you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody.